Y'all might be doing a little song.
I'm just saying. Just saying. Don't sleep.
Hey, I told you I had y'all going to the Super Bowl, man. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Look.
Yeah.
Defense came to play. Hey, look. Hey, I gotta apologize off rip because last week we came on here and we talked, and I wasn't sure who this Darnell Savage kid was. But I made a mistake. It was the wrong dude. Darnell Savage is good. He's a safety.
He's actually pretty good.
He's good. Yeah, he got an interception too on Sunday. It's another corner, but I ain't seen him since. My bad, Savage. That's me. That's my fault.
Sat his ass on the bench. Shit.
He said,
I see y'all got a run game now. Y'all don't even be asking Aaron Rodgers to do that much.
that's it.
Now he be chilling.
Special in moments. That's it. That's it.
Y'all be chilling. But all right, man. Well, welcome to another episode of Here's the Deal, everybody. You know, where we break down the game, give our hot takes, you know, all that. Welcome to another episode. Week 3 is in the books for the NFL. Let's get into the Giants, man. The big apple. What's going on with the Giants? Seems like they got their quarterback of the future. We just talking. Daniel Jones seems to be the real deal. So what's your first thoughts on him?
Well, Giants fans, y'all got something to be happy about, be positive about, look forward to. No disrespect to Eli. Eli brought that team. He got 2 Super Bowls with them, right?
Yeah.
2 Super
He
Bowls.
caught the Holy Ghost twice.
Yeah, 2 Super Bowls with them. Went one over the undefeated Patriots with Randy Moss. When you look back and you could tell somebody a story like that, it'd be amazing. But they had to bring the young calf in. They needed some young legs, and like I was just watching the highlights right before when me and you were talking, and I was saying it's good to see some lively feet back there. Someone who's not a sitting duck in the pocket can make moves. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 for the win. I think Giants fans should be happy. It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's not get crazy. It wasn't a team that I expected to make the playoffs, but for any rookie starting their first game, you know that defense was gunning for that. You know, especially a team. Do they even have any wins? Oh, they have 1 win, but especially a team that's under 500, they were going to gun for that. So it was good to see him come out and have a productive night, over 300 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. I liked it.
Yeah, he came out and balled, and that's for having somewhat limited weapons with Saquon. He went out, I want to say, about second quarter on him. So, yeah, we're going to get into that injury in a little bit. But, yeah, with him going out and him still able to put up 30-plus points in an NFL game in his first start, definitely a lot of positives. I don't believe he threw any interceptions. He somewhat has a fumble problem, but, hey, you know, as he gets hit more and more, he'll learn how to hold on to that pill and understand, hey, we can't turn over the ball at any cost. But, I mean, hey, they won the game. They probably should have lost. The Tampa Bay kicker went out there and missed a 30-yarder or something like that. But, hey, you got the win, your first start. You threw for 3 touchdowns or something like that. So he had a huge game, man. I'm definitely liking what I see from Daniel Jones. Like you said, he's not the same quarterback that Eli is. He's not afraid to run. He was making a lot of running throws, which is very surprising from a rookie quarterback. You know, they tell you keep your mechanics tight and all that, but he was making the throws. They weren't accurate. And, hey, Sterling Shepard looked like he can make plays, and Evan Ingram has been balling all year. So I like what I'm seeing from the Giants. They're going to have to get some defense. They're going to have to get some defense for them. But offensively, they're clicking.
This is the Evan Ingram I needed last year on fantasy. I don't. Now all of a sudden, now he got the quarterback he needed. I needed this last year in fantasy. But I like to see Evan Ingram perform. I thought he was going to be great out the gate last year. He was still good last year, but now we're seeing him really, you know, now we have a guy who's going to get him the ball really starting to take off.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this Saquon injury, man. What do you think is up with it? Right now they're reporting that's a high ankle sprain, out 4 to 8 weeks, which is a wide frame. But, I mean, depending on how Daniel Jones plays, see if he wins a couple of games, maybe they could get into this wild card, depending on if Daniel Jones is like that. Am I getting too ahead of myself?
I would say yes. I would say yes. Look, I know they got the win. That's hype. But the Giants still aren't going to make the playoffs. I didn't even think they were going to make the playoffs with Saquon Barkley. Now your best playmaker is out 4 to 8 weeks. You have a quarterback now. You should be able to win some games, but I pulled up their schedule, and look, you might be able to handle the Redskins, but then they get the Vikings, the Patriots. The Cardinals is not an easy game. I don't care what their record is. Kyler Murray's been balling. Still got the Cowboys coming up. They got to play us. Like, they got to play the boys.
All right. Yeah, they got a rough schedule.
Yeah, they got a rough schedule coming up. So again, it sucks for Saquon Barkley, but he should take his time.
Mm.
Don't come back until you're 100% because this isn't a playoff team to me yet.
It's gonna be hard to hold him out after they won the game. He's out there running on the field with crutches, a
Yeah.
boot. Like he don't care. He loves the game. I love that about him. He definitely loves the game. He got that passion still. They ain't kicked it out of him yet in New York. So hopefully he keeps that same drive. I mean, the way I look at it, I mean, if they can win 2 or 3 games, being in that 4th or 5th week while Saquon's hurt, I mean, it's like I said, it's gonna be hard to keep him out. I say if he's healthy, you bring him back. A high ankle sprain, be a little cautious, but that's not a major injury unless you are playing on it hurt. So as long as he's healthy, bring him out there. Don't go out there and just rest him just because we're not doing anything this year. Get him out there, let him play. Saquon, he's a pretty durable guy, at least to my understanding. He's a workout warrior, so definitely think they should bring him back. Probably, in that 5th week range. Give him a little extra week afterwards. Make sure he's 100%. But I definitely think he should come back. You can't let him. He box office. You can't let him sit on the bench too long.
Do you think they have a chance to at least maybe get second in their division? Do you think so? I mean, the Eagles don't look.
Hey,
the Eagles are banged up, right? They banged up right now.
Yeah, Eagles. They're missing both of their wide receivers. Alshon and Deshaun hurt. And yesterday, they were struggling. They was just dropping the rock all over the place. So I mean, that's what I was getting to. They could definitely get that second spot in their division and then maybe get a wild card spot, possibly.
I don't know. With as much talent as the Eagles got, I just have a feeling if they get those guys back, they should be a lot better. But it's crazy. When I was doing my picks for this week and I got to the Lions-Eagles game, I kind of I stopped myself. I was like, damn, are the Eagles going to win this game? Because they didn't look all that good. Who did they play the week before? I forget who it was.
The Falcons.
Yeah, they didn't look all that good against the Falcons. So I was like, oh, well, I went with the Eagles. And as we can see, they weren't ready for that. They weren't ready for Stafford and crew.
Do you think it's something with Carson? Do you think it's something with mentally with the team? They just don't play with him as hard as they play with Foles? Was Foles a better fit for that system? Why is it when Carson Wentz has been inserted ever since that injury, they haven't been able to, duplicate that type of success?
To be honest, I don't know. I think it's a mixture of Carson Wentz last year. Didn't he? He got hurt last year, right?
Yeah.
He never looked quite like he did from his MVP year. He just hasn't looked that same part. And I don't want to say he's unhealthy, but he just doesn't have that same spring in his step. To me, that's just how I see it. He doesn't seem to be as accurate as he was that year. Maybe it's just defenses figuring him out. I don't know what it is. But I'm not going to put a whole lot of stock into their early struggles here because we know the injuries. It's hard enough. And if you got guys dropping passes like they were dropping passes, I mean, what can you really do as a quarterback at that point? So I'm not going to prejudge him too early. But I want to wait till he gets everybody back, and then we'll see what he's really made of.
Yeah, right now with the Eagles, all I think they really have going for them is their passing game. They don't really have a running back that's too solid. I don't think Miles Sanders is the answer. Darren Sproles is also running the ball, who's on his last year. He's on his, victory lap or whatever you want to call it. So, I mean, they don't have anybody solid there. They have Jordan Howard, but they're not really giving him the ball. Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffrey, and Deshaun Jackson is about all this team I really think has going on. They don't have that great of a defense right now that they're allowing teams to move the ball. The Lions are a solid team, but when they're on the road, that's when you usually can catch them vulnerable. When they're at home, they win their games. But when they're on the road, that's when you see Matthew Stafford start to, not be such a great quarterback.
At home, Stafford be throwing for 350, 3 touchdowns. Yo, what is this?
Yeah, I would have thought it would have been a safe pick to pick the Eagles this week, but hey, I mean, like you said, they're banged up. They don't have the receivers right now. So, I mean, I'm going to give them a couple more weeks. It's too early to overreact on any team. They won again. They 1-2. So, I mean, they got plenty of time. You only got 2 losses right now. So, I'm going to give the Eagles a little bit more time. But let's talk about some surprising teams. We already talked the Bills, man. The Bills and the 49ers. Still undefeated. 3-0.
Still undefeated.
The Bills beat the Bengals and the 49ers when it took out the Steelers. So, what are you thinking about these teams? Are they for real?
49ers, I'm going to press pause on the 49ers. I like their defense. Garoppolo is still throwing a lot of interceptions. He's still
Yeah.
throwing a lot of interceptions. I picked him to beat the Steelers. You're supposed to beat the Steelers. No Big Ben, no Antonio Brown, no none of that. So for the 49ers, it's good to see them off to a 3-0 start. It's better to be lucky sometimes. But those interceptions in the NFC could definitely come back to bite you later down the road when you have to be, more efficient when it comes to passing the ball. Because every time I check, Jimmy Garoppolo has like 2 interceptions. So I'm not quite too sold on their offense, but defensively, I like the 49ers. Snag them up in fantasy. They got me a clean little 14 points this week. So
Yeah.
I like the Niners. As far as the Bills, 3-0, you beat the Bengals, who are
Josh
also
Allen be balling, man.
Josh Allen is nice. I like Josh
Allen's
Allen.
nice.
I told you, I see a kind of younger version of Big Ben, but he's a little bit more athletic. He's a little bit
he's
faster.
very mobile.
He's very mobile. But back there in the pocket, he just kind of gives me that sort of feel. But I like the Bills. I'm not going to lie to you. They're starting to grow on me. Their defense is still good. I was actually reading an article about their defense today. It was good last year. I didn't even know because of their record. But carried over to this year, they're still a top defense. This team might sneak into a little wild card spot. I don't know. They're starting off good, and I think they play the Patriots for the division lead next week, right?
Yeah, we're going to find out about the Bills. I mean, obviously, it's the Patriots, so if they do get shut out or something like that, I'm not going to hold it too much. They'll still be 3-1 even if they do lose. But, hey, I mean, they're looking really good right now. I love what Josh Allen's doing. I kind of get that Big Ben feel, too, except for when he does scramble because, I mean, when he scrambles, he's active. He's pretty fast out there. He's a big quarterback. I think that's why he does look so much like Ben back there. But I like what the Bills are doing. They're a solid team. They have a very good rookie running back. I believe like Singletary. He was out last game, but he showed a lot. He got some moves back there. And I mean, I believe they picked up John Brown as well. So they got some weapons for him.
Shout out Frank Gore.
Yeah,
Frank Gore is still chugging along.
Still going. He's gonna end up top 5 in touchdowns by the end of it all. But he's still going strong. I like what the Bills are doing. They're well coached and they seem to start figuring it out. They got their quarterback, they got their franchise, and I like what they're doing. For the 49ers, I'm buying the 49ers right now. I don't like how Garoppolo's throwing interceptions and things like that, but somehow this team just seems to continue to put up nearly 30 points a game, and it may be Shanahan. I think it's just Shanahan. He's that great of an offensive coordinator, and Jimmy G is a very good quarterback. It's just these interceptions are a little bit alarming, and sometimes they're just throwing it in the double and triple coverage, so they're bad interceptions at that. So if he gets that under control, this team is definitely something that could surprise the team, maybe come playoffs. So.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Anytime you have Kyle Shanahan, I mean, we see what he did with the Falcons offense a couple of years ago. Team got to the Super Bowl. So bring that over to the 49ers. I expect more from their offense going forward. But like you said, those interceptions, those can come back to bite you later. I don't think he's going to be even a great quarterback last year like Patrick Mahomes. Those interceptions came back to bite him later. So we'll see. I need Garoppolo to play better. I need to see if he's worth that money.
All right, and one of my biggest surprises of the week, the Saints went into Seattle and took down the Seahawks with their backup quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater. So what did you think of that game? Because that game definitely caught me off guard.
Definitely caught me off guard. I didn't think the Saints had any chance in hell to win this game. I picked I was just talking about my picks this week. I picked the Seattle Seahawks to win this week. I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna ground and pound. Saints ain't gonna be able to score, and yet they still put up 33 points. Teddy Bridgewater, 19-27 for 2 touchdowns. You had Alvin Kamara running the ball. I mean, they came out and did their thing, and I'm disappointed in the Seahawks. This is a game you got to take. You got to take this from the Saints, and they didn't show up.
Yeah. Yeah, the Seahawks kind of did disappoint. It took Russell Wilson a little while to start getting the offense clicking. They desperately need weapons, but I mean, somehow he does always find a way to, get them in the playoffs and be successful. But their defense isn't what it used to be. They're still very good, but a game like this is where I expect the defense to really step up and just lock down on a backup quarterback, make sure Kamara doesn't, break free, make sure Michael Thomas is in check, and just make sure you hold this team under in like 21 and under type range, especially being at home. So they did kind of disappoint in that aspect. But as far as the Seahawks, I think they do need to add some weapons. I mean, the Saints special teams came to play. I believe they had 2 special teams touchdowns or a defense touchdown and a special team touchdown, something along those lines. So, I mean, they got a lot of help from other aspects. It wasn't just the offense, moving the ball in the defense. But, yeah, the Seahawks got to play better than that at home. I always joke around. They got 8 wins already being at home. But this will be one of their losses at home. I guess they'll probably go about 7-1, 6-2 at worst the rest of the way. But, hey, the Saints, I mean, they're looking good. I think they'll be okay without Drew Brees going forward, especially now they got a playbook for Teddy Bridgewater. They'll be all right.
Yeah, I agree.
We got to talk about your boys, man. We were just rambling about it, but we got to go in depth about your Packers, man, because for some reason, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have to be the best player in the NFL every day. He just has to not throw interceptions, throw a touchdown here, there, move the ball down the field, get us a field goal. Like, just play situational football, which is the way football should be played, honestly. If your defense is doing what it's doing, I mean, like you alluded to, y'all seem to have the turnover chains going. Y'all seem to have something going on there.
Look. We out here doing a little something. Nah, you go ahead. I like the way you're talking right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Packers, man. Y'all have proven y'all can run the ball. Y'all have somewhat of a system between Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones. And, I mean, I think there's some type of question to be had about who's going to be the second receiver. Or, I mean, somewhat just kind of passing in general. But as long as you have Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, I'm not too worried about that. We still have yet to see y'all get down the game and have to come back. So that will be one of my caveats that I hold out for this team. But if the defense is playing the way it's playing and you're able to run the ball that you have, the way you have been, then I definitely see y'all getting one of those top 2 seeds in the NFC and, being in the NFC Championship, maybe compete for the Super Bowl. But what you think about your boys so far?
Well, first off, thank you. Thank you for that beautiful soliloquy. Look, I think my Packers did what they were supposed to do. We still a little rough on the edges on offense. We had 27 points this week. That's the highest we've had this year so far. Each game it's increased, so that's a positive sign. I'm glad to see the running game getting better with each and every game. This game, it was more Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams was really getting a lot of yards. So I think he had about 60 yards, and then I think Aaron Jones had about 20. But they flip-flop depending on the week. So it's good to see the run game. I'm glad Aaron Rodgers is not throwing the ball 50 times or 48 times, 45. I'm glad to see the offense looking more balanced, but the offense still needs a lot of work. There's a lot of times where we stall out, a lot of just dumb penalties at the wrong time on third downs. And also when we do get a playoff on third down, just dumb looking plays, like miscommunication all the time. Like that stuff we need to clean up. But
it's going to worry.
The defense. Yeah. The defense.
We holding it down.
They holding it down. We give up some yards on the ground. I've noticed that. We'll give up some yards on the ground. Dalvin Cook torched us last week. Phillip Lindsay had about 80 yards and 2 touchdowns on us. But
good backs.
I like our secondary. Darnell Savage, like I said earlier, shout out to him. He had the interception this week. Adrian Amos has turned our safety position around back there. I'm not even worried about nothing back there now. Hey, if you're going deep, go ahead. There was a time where my heart would stop if I saw a quarterback going deep against us because I knew it was a good chance they was going to get it. Jael Alexander out on the outside. I like what he's been doing. He's starting to look like he's going to be a star in this league. So, hey, it's just good to see the Packers defense. Like I was telling you before, 8 takeaways through 3 games. We had 15 all of last year, 8 already through 3 games. So that just shows you that this defense is out there getting it. Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, those guys pass rushing. I think, Rashawn Gary had a fumble recovery. Zadarius Smith had a sack or 2. So it's good to see my team actually executing on defense, getting stops. And I don't have to watch Aaron Rodgers try to go get 42 points just to win a game. So I like what I'm seeing from us right now. We need to play a better quarterback. I'll be the first to admit it. We ain't played a showstopper yet. But it's still encouraging to see. Nah.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins ain't it. But, I mean, hey, y'all doing what y'all supposed to do. Y'all 3-0. I'm liking what I'm seeing. But we got to touch up on my team now, man. My team, personally, I think it's the injury bug. And it seems to be the issue with us year after year. And, I mean, I think we will figure it out. I think we're fine right now. We're 1-2. Lost to the Texans, a team that could very well be 3-0. We
Yeah.
lost it. We lost to the Lions, another team that could very well be 3-0. Obviously, the Lions I don't look at on the same level as the Texans, but I'm okay with that loss. Like, it was a bad loss. There was a lot of mistakes. I look at it as a learning game. Coming back this week against the Texans. Go ahead. I know you about to throw some hate. Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say let everybody know who told you I was gonna lose that game.
Yeah, you was praying on our downfall, but
No,
it's all
I
good.
like y'all,
Nah,
man.
it's all good. It's all good. I'm used to it by now. People be praying on our downfall. It's all good. We got plenty of injuries. Denzel Perryman finally came back, so he's helped in the run game last week. I mean, that's one of the biggest issues I think is what our team is our run defense. That's like if you allow a team to just keep running on you, there's nothing you can really do. Passing, you can maybe come up with a lucky interception, a lucky pass, get a sack. But when you allow a team to run on you, there's nothing you can really do. So having Denzel Perryman back has been very, very big, I think, last week. But playing against Deshaun Watson, that's a young MJ, man. I think that's just what it is. He once he gets the right team around him, I think really gonna be some trouble for the league. But right now, he's just so versatile. He does everything on the field, extends plays. We kept DeAndre Hopkins in check most of the game, but if it wasn't Will Fuller, it was Kenny Stills, and if it wasn't them, it was one of their tight ends. I couldn't even keep up. So we held him in check, but everybody else was kind of eating on us, and I give Deshaun Watson a lot of credit for that. I think we gotta get Derwin James back. We gotta get Russell Okon back. Our all pros, Adrian Phillips. We're missing 3 all pros right there. Some in the secondary, some at left tackle. Our left tackle position is very weak right now without Okon being there. We got some guy that he just can't hold his own against the best pass rushers in the league, especially playing against J.J. Watt this week and things like that. It's very apparent. And with Phillip Rivers, he's trying to run a little bit more, even being 38, 39, however old he is. He's scrambling. He's trying to run for first downs, but he can only do but so much without having a solid offensive line. So that was get me to my next point. We need to trade Melvin Gordon. He has to go. He has to get him off the team, man. I'm tired of it. Get him off the team.
You don't want him back?
We don't need him back. I'm okay with y'all.
Eckler only had 36 yards now.
I'm okay with Austin Eckler. I'm okay with Justin Jackson. We got a nice 2-back system. Justin Jackson and Eckler, they run the ball well. They catch the ball well. Eckler is definitely a great catcher. I think we fell into a lot of passing downs and things like that. Keenan Allen was the one really going off the other day. Yeah, almost 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he was really going off. But we got to get rid of Melvin Gordon and either get somebody that's going to help us in the run game, stopping the run, or help us. Go get Jalen Ramsey if we can do that. That'd be the first thing. Go get Jalen Ramsey if we can do that. Because then if we get him, we shutting down everybody. But get somebody that maybe can stop us in the run game or help out in the offensive line and then go from there. But get Melvin Gordon up the team and help and improve in some aspect.
That's not what you need to do. You know what you need to do. You just don't want to say it.
What do we need to do?
Pay that man.
No, we don't need to pay that man. We don't need to pay that man. No, I'd rather pay another position.
Hey, don't be mad.
Don't
be mad at Melvin. Blame Zeke. Blame some of these Todd Gurley.
He not Zeke. He not Todd Gurley. He not Le'Veon. He not Christian McCaffrey. He not Alvin Kamara. He not none of those top 5 backs.
Pay that man. That's it. So look, I'm 2-1 in our fantasy league. I'd be 3-0 if I had Melvin Gordon.
You selfish. This is the second time in a row you doing it for selfish reasons.
Look,
nah, man.
Look, first off, you tried to trade for him, so obviously you holding out hope that he comes back.
If he comes back to the team or if he get traded, he gonna put up some fantasy points. So hey, that's why I was trying to get him on my team.
Look, I'll just say this: y'all pay Melvin Gordon. That'll help Phillip Rivers. That'll help your defense. Austin Eckler is better as a receiving back. You know, you seen him last year. How y'all was using him last year was perfect for Austin Eckler. You know it. Just pay that man.
He's kind of proven that he can do a little bit of everything. But, I mean, I would like to have Melvin back. He's definitely a top 7 or 8 running back in the league. But
trade us him for Aaron Jones.
We can't pay. No. But we may trade him for Alexander, that corner y'all got over there. He's a
Oh
young
no 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 no
stud.
no no
Yeah, I'm
no
saying we may
no
do that, but
no no
nah.
no.
Other than that, we'll hold on to Melvin. He'll come back. They saying about week 6 to 8. So I think we got time. Like I said, I'm not gonna overreact. 1 and 2, we're fine. We got a pretty easy schedule this year. Obviously, we should have won one of these games between the Lions and the Texans. I was expecting, but it's okay. We can lose this game. We haven't lost any division games yet. Things like that. So if we handle our business there, beat the Chiefs twice, hey, we're in good business.
I was about to say, luckily for y'all, like you said, y'all schedule is pretty. Y'all got the Dolphins coming up.
We
You got
played
the
on the
Broncos.
God.
Then you got the Titans and the Bears, and then us. But then you get the Raiders and sprinkle some Chiefs and another Broncos game. I mean, y'all have some games y'all could definitely win. Only loss, huh?
I just wait for us to get healthy because this isn't the team that I think we're gonna nearly as good as we'll look come week 8. Because that's when a lot of players might come back week 8.
I think y'all have the potential to win your next 5 games. I think
That's
y'all
tough.
could. I mean, you could take care of the Dolphins. You
Yeah.
should beat the Broncos. You
Mhm.
should beat the Steelers.
Yeah.
The Titans might be a tough game, but do I trust Phillip Rivers or Marcus Mariota?
Yeah, right.
Probably Marcus Mariota.
That should be a one.
The Bears will be a tough game.
Yeah. Who's at
But
home
do
for
I?
that one? You know.
Fox at Bears. Oh, okay, so you might.
Okay. That's a tough one. I mean, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one at
Mitchell
home.
may trick it though.
No, after that, y'all definitely lose that game. I'm not gonna tell you the team, but y'all definitely lose that game. So I mean, y'all got some games, and y'all could win the next 4 at the least. To me, y'all should bounce back.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think we'll be fine. It's just getting some of these players healthy, finding out how we are gonna close games, and getting our kicker back would be nice too. So.
Oh yeah,
Hopefully that
damn, they disrespected. You seen that text I sent you?
Yeah, that's mad disrespectful. They said you're just gonna continue to struggle.
The punter,
that's filling in, long. You're just gonna continue to struggle while Badgers, disrespectful.
Damn. They couldn't
Like,
say he's trying,
just
nothing.
be praying on the Chargers downfall. This is what they be doing, man. Just disrespectful.
Y'all gotta win some games.
Let's talk about the other LA team. That they are winning games. The other LA team that's winning games. So the Rams, they 3-0. The Browns, they 1-2 after this game. So what are your thoughts on both of those teams after their Sunday night game?
Nothing really changed from either side for me. The Rams, I expected them to win this game. Partly because of my reason, I'm still disappointed in the Browns. It's just from what I've seen from the Browns and what I've seen for the Rams. Like we said last week, the Rams are one of the most complete teams in the league. So, yeah, I'm nothing changed for me for the Rams. I'm not surprised to see them go 3-0. The Browns drop another one. They only put up 13 points. I'm not mad that the Browns lost to the Rams. I just, we expected so much more out of this offense. I expected to be one of the best offenses in the league. And to only put up 13 points, I mean, I know the Rams got defense, but you got OBJ, you got Landry, you got Njoku, you got people, you got Chubb. I mean, you got so many different weapons. You got Baker Mayfield, who's a pretty good quarterback in this league. So I'm still disappointed in them. I need to see them really find themselves and start to turn the corner. They shouldn't be 0-2 at home either.
Yeah, you alluded to the weapons, and with that being said, you got to score from 4 yards out. If you got 4 downs, like last drive of the game, 4 yards away from the end zone, you got to get in that end zone. You got to either force it to OBJ or Nick Chubb, get him the ball, Baker scrambles, do something. You can't just stay standing at that 4-yard line for 4 straight plays. You got to do something. So I think a lot of it is their coaching and the offensive line. That's really what this team, just their coaching is just. I mean, it's the same offensive coordinator they had last year, but something's just different now that he is actually the full-time head coach. Maybe he's just, trying to outsmart himself or something like that. But a lot of those plays that he's calling up, it just doesn't make sense to me while I'm watching the game. Doesn't make sense within the flow of the game. Offensive line play just has to improve because I think if that improves, Baker Mayfield becomes kind of the quarterback we saw last year, which – I mean, if your offensive line doesn't protect you and you're a 6-foot quarterback, you can only hang in there for so long. So they have to protect him if they're going to have any type of success going forward and maybe even think about making the playoffs. Because right now, looking at the division, the Ravens are looking like definitely the chosen ones to come out of this division. So
right.
And, I mean, speaking of the Ravens, I mean, they had a tough game against the Chiefs. And I like what I saw from Lamar in that game. He still has a ways to go. I mean, he had his bright spots, had his down moments as far as, they're always gonna pull up his throwing deep stats and things like that. But
Right.
I mean, playing against a team like the Chiefs at home, the Chiefs being at home, I mean, I kind of expected them to lose. I had faith that they would win just because, I mean, I'm always root for the Chiefs to lose. That's just the way it's going to be. But unless they're playing the Patriots or something, I may give a caveat for that one. But I like what I saw from Lamar. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, he's still lighting it up no matter who he's throwing to. Uh, Making rookies look like superstars out here. Kel's still doing what he does. But I think the Chiefs defense may have improved, man. I thought it would be worse this year, but I think their defense actually looks better this year.
I would have to agree. One, me and you both had picked the Ravens to get this upset over the weekend.
Yeah,
things got out of hand quickly. I mean, the Ravens closed it up there at the end. I thought they had a chance, but when I look at this game and I step back and look at it as a whole, I mean, both teams. I mean, the Ravens seem like they would have the roster to be able to handle the Chiefs. They seem like they have the defense, they have the offensive pieces, but Andy Reid in the regular season is a different cat. If y'all don't remember, he used to coach the Eagles back in the day, and they were playoff staples. Like every year, they went to playoff with McNabb, yo. So, I mean, when you got Andy Reid running the show, I mean, it doesn't even matter who. Like you said, it didn't even matter who was in the game. Tyreek Hill's out there. Go ahead.
And they be running, the receivers be running wide open. Like it's
wide open
play design. And I mean, obviously these players are pretty skilled. They're fast. They're athletic. But the scheme is just killing these defenses.
The scheme is killing them. And then even though they're missing their normal running back, I mean, you still got LaShawn McCoy back there, who's not what he used to be. But I mean, he's played with Andy Reid before, so he already knows kind of where to be and how to like. This team is loaded, and it's crazy because I was just talking about how AB pushes the Patriots into the title game, but now that he's released, I don't know, man. These Chiefs looking like they got a shot. I'll tell you that much. They got a shot. They got a good shot.
Okay. So let's speak about AB, man, being a dumbass. Damn. So you go ahead and start us off with this. I'm gonna let you start us off with this.
I mean, what can we say? Patriots released AB. If you haven't been paying attention to what's going on, what is someone suing him for sexual assault or something like that? Or two charges out right now for him. So I'm not surprised because it's the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots are the no-nonsense organization. They cut big-time players. They are famous for that. They are famous for cutting good players before they start to get worse or their career starts to decline. So I'm not surprised by the release. It's sad to see Antonio Brown not on another team because this all could be like I've been seeing a lot of people say this is all just a farce or whatever, or this isn't really true what's happening. Someone's just trying to get him. But it's sad to just see another receiver go out the league like this. And I guarantee you, if the Patriots cut his ass, I don't know who finna sign him now at this point. Like, if the Patriots was like, oh, no, sexual assault, boom, X-nay, ain't no other team gonna do it to me. Like, the Patriots took a huge shot on him, and now he just comes out looking, I hate to say it, like a fool almost because he was complaining about the helmet and complaining about this, and he got the video, him celebrating, I'm free, all that stuff. Just for you to get to the Patriots and you cut after one game, man. That shit is sad when you really step back and look at it. I know he's been acting wild, and a lot of people haven't been agreeing with his behavior, but when you look back, it's just another great talent that we might possibly be seeing getting wasted.
Yeah. I mean, you can't be dumb enough to have contact with, the female that's charging you, because apparently he sent out some text messages threatening her and things like that, and that was kind of what tipped it over and made the Patriots, just go ahead and release him. So you can't be dumb enough to do that in the middle of something like this. If I'm AB's lawyer, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if he had this conversation, but you tell him don't have contact with this woman throughout this trial. By the way, I'm not sure if he got that memo. AB kind of seems to be a little off and just kind of does what he wants. So I don't put it past him to not even care about
And if you deal like, fam, as a man, you cannot let your anger take over, no matter what she has done. Like when you're in that position,
Mm-hmm.
like if a regular nigga like me got mad and sent some text like that, I might not get in trouble. But
Yeah.
when you're in that position, when you're that high up, when your wallet is like that,
Yeah. Right.
they're always trying to get you. You cannot
Yeah.
let you can't
Yeah,
let
you
that
can't
happen, man.
slip. You can't allow yourself to slip because they're looking for anything. Oh, I could post this conversation to the shade room, things like the thing
Yeah,
that
bro.
happened with Boogie. Same thing that happened with Boogie. Obviously, we're talking about
Exactly.
football, but same thing. Like his girlfriend was waiting. She was waiting for the moment for him to slip and say something. Because I mean, it seems like they probably go back and forth often. So she knew that she could probably get something out of him. So and that's
Bro,
what
she was in there waiting to record like it was a stakeout, bro.
like
Like they was
exactly.
tapping the line.
It's blatant. So like by now, these athletes should know better. And if I'm AB, I mean, you hope for the best. Like you said, it's gonna be difficult for any team to pick them up. They're gonna have to be either just very desperate or just. I don't think any team's even just gonna take the chance because you don't want that around your team's name because obviously it's a business at the end of the day, and you don't want to sign somebody and then a week later it comes out, oh, we signed somebody that's been having these type of issues going on. So it's definitely a bad look. I'd hate to see his talent to go to the waste. I mean, the way it's looking is he may be out of the league for a year, and maybe he'll come back after gets himself together. Hopefully, I really do pray that he gets himself together because I mean he's a great talent. I mean, I like him as a guy. It's just when you do so much stupid stuff, it starts to wear on people, especially like even me as a fan of football. It just wears on me, and I try to keep everything strictly to the field, but when you make everything off the field instead of worrying about the way
Look,
you do play, it's like it does start to take a toll on
look,
us.
call it what it is, bro. When you acting like a jackass, that's just what it is, bro. It's not
Right.
saying we don't see you the same way on the field. I mean, we were just talking about this guy in the same kilt as Randy Moss, like coming to the Patriots. Like we were just talking
Yeah.
about you in the same breath. Like it could be something similar. So yeah, man, he got to get all that shit together, man. Got to get that together.
Yeah, prayers up for AB, man. Figure
Yeah,
it out. But
definitely.
we got one more thing I wanted to talk about. So
What's it?
you had the
What's
whole
it?
AB situation. I want to talk about these rests, man. I'm not sure if you've been paying attention. These rests throughout these first 3 weeks, they've been calling a lot of extra stuff. It's been the Saints have already had complaints about how they kind of did a little bit something similar to the way they did throughout the playoffs last year. They calling plays dead when they didn't need to be. So these rests have been a little shaky. I'm not sure if they put emphasis on making holding calls and things like that. I wasn't sure if they made that clear throughout the offseason. I know they added in the challenge rule, which has been mostly play stands, will keep it moving, but there's been a couple reversals. So it seems to be a rule that some coaches are liking, but. What do you think about all these flags? Because every time, at least personally, when I'm watching my team or just watching another team, it's always a holding on a big play, whether it be defense or offensive holding, or
Right.
just always something that's interrupting the flow of the game. What have been your thoughts so far on refereeing?
It hasn't been too bad on the Packer front, but I have seen a lot. I've been seeing this year. I'm seeing a lot of offensive holding. I don't remember seeing this much offensive holding. Defense maybe, but they're getting guys on offense too. Like as you were talking, I pulled up a stat on Sunday. Officials threw 41 flags for offensive holding on Sunday. Like that's a like. I mean. Maybe they've catered so much to the offense. Maybe they don't want to over cater to it. I mean, you have a lot of defensive players came out and say everything's catered to the offense. You can't touch guys, blah, 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 whatever. Well, now at least they're calling it even. They're going to try to make it as, black and white as they can, I guess you could say. So it's definitely been a lot of penalties. But every time a new rule comes in place or they change something up, there's an adapt period. There's an adapt period in the league. We're only 3 games in, so shit, the penalties are high as hell right now. They're high as fuck. I think as we get around week 6, 7, and 8, you'll start to see that number start to clean up, start to come down. It'll probably be something like that, but these penalties have definitely been wild. That offensive holding shit, I don't know.
It's stopping you have a big play, you get offensive hold. You get a 10-yard 50-yard completion and you bringing it back for holding. So
hey, that's why they put the challenge in, because they knew they was on their bullshit this year. They was like, we got to get him something.
I can definitely see why they would emphasize that, because like you alluded to, a lot of these rules are against the defense. Let's go ahead and help them out, because I mean, everybody knows there's holding just about every play. So if you do want to call it every play, you can go ahead and call it just about every play. So I mean, I guess to a degree it hasn't been too bad. But even Tom Brady came out and tweeted, let the players play. So I mean, obviously it's been somewhat of an issue for the offensive players because they're just so accustomed to playing a certain type of way. But I mean, you made some very good points. I think as we go throughout this season, maybe it'll clean up. Usually the offense struggles at first and they start to, whether it be penalties or just how their offense is going to move throughout the rest of the season, they do start to figure it out. So maybe in these next couple of weeks we'll see a lot cleaner game, which is, I guess, what I'm wanting to see. So
you're going to see the Packers averaging about 38 a game. Look, I'm saying don't let it get too cleaned up now, because Aaron Rodgers, he getting his bag. All right, you saw the touchdown to Valdez Scantling, made Von Miller jumped offside, laid it up over the top. Look, I'm just saying. All
right, man. I hear you hype right now, but
just saying,
it's gonna get real scary come about week 9 when y'all come out to LA. Yeah, it's gonna get real scary for y'all.
Real sunny.
Oh, one quick question on the spot. Who's the best defensive back in the game? Who's the best corner?
The best corner in the game.
I've been having this debate with my Patriots fans. They swear out it's Stephon
Gilmore.
They swear out it's Stephon Gilmore, which I'm not mad at that answer.
That's not a bad answer.
Tell me who you got. Who's your personal one?
Hold on. I got him. We can't just skim. We can't just skim past this. I got.
All right. My personal, I'll go with Jalen Ramsey. That's what I'm voting. That's what I'm vouching.
Oh, book it. Yeah, book it.
Okay, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad I'm not delusional.
Give me Ramsey. I'll take Ramsey, but I'm not mad at Stephon Gilmore. I'm not mad at him.
He does his thing. The difference for me is just the competition they do play week to week. He plays against DeAndre Hopkins and T.Y. Hilton twice a year each, so that's 4 games off the bat. And then he has locked up A.B. and some other guys as well. So just the competition is kind of what tips the scale towards Jalen Ramsey for me. And put him with Bill Belichick, I'm pretty sure he'll do a lot of the same things, if not better than stuff. No disrespect to stuff.
If the Patriots get Jalen Ramsey
and
Stephon Gilmore,
that can't happen.
Like they
already
eating nice. Right? Their defense is already eating. Like they gotta lose something. Let's
not put any ideas in Bill's head. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap up this episode, man. Was there anything else that you want to say to the people before we get out?
Nah, man. Just thank you guys for watching. Enjoy this first video episode. We ain't even say nothing about that. First video episode right here. So y'all get to see us. We interacting. I'm black. I'm beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So look.
We lavish over here. Yeah, we prospering, bro.
Go ahead.
All right, guys. Go ahead, like and share, comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know where we can improve and things like that. Continue to, share with your friends and things like that, because as you continue to do that, you help us to eventually provide merch for you guys, better audio equipment, better video. So it's just going to make it a better show for everybody involved. So definitely do that, guys. And thank you for another episode. Peace.